Hi, Kath. Can you hear me?
Hi, Ian.
Ah.
Hi. Sorry, we had a bit of a technical schnaffle.
Oh,
Still figuring
gosh.
out these things. How are you?
I am so well, I'm frightened of myself.
Oh, fantastic. That's very good news. Well, I just want to thank you so much for joining us here today. We're so pleased to have you talk to our Bridechillas about the Unlimited Child. And we're going to be announcing the raffle that we've created during this slot, which all proceeds will go to Unlimited Child. And I just wanted to give a little bit of background. Ian is the founder and chairman of the Unlimited Child, which is an early childhood development not-for-profit organization. And he's also the father of my brother-in-law, so he is family. The Unlimited Child is now South Africa's largest non-profit organization with the most number of beneficiaries. It's helped over 850,000 children to be made school ready and has included an extensive training caregivers program that helps caregivers become early childhood development practitioners. I've worked with Ian and the Unlimited Child over the last 8 years, and today we are honored to welcome Ian to the Bridechilla Experience, and we have some questions for you, Ian. So thank you so much for joining us.
Wonderful, Kath.
Cool.
Can I say something? I think I should be thanking you, by the way. You know, in life, there's nothing without purpose. There really isn't. And I just love the fact that what you have set up and what you have done over the last 8 years or so runs to hundreds of thousands of rands that you've donated. And your purpose has always been through being family. I know some of the tough times that you've had and how you've just, through just your excellence, sheer force of personality and your beautiful way of being, you've never, ever not supported the Unlimited Child through all of that. And really, Kath, for any brand, it's always about purpose, and you've done that so well. And I know that I speak for Candace and Wallace and everybody at the Unlimited Child and the children. That support, it's not just that you don't just write a check to us. You are involved in that journey with us. And I cannot tell you how valuable that is to us. So thank you.
It's our pleasure, and our team absolutely loves being involved and being able to contribute. And it's thanks to your journey, which we're going to hear about today, and you're setting up this platform, and that we are able to do that so easily. You've created the mechanism for that. So it's an absolute honor. It gives us so much meaning and purpose to what we're doing. Our brand is all about love. It's bridal, and we're all about love. And it's just this beautiful flow of energy that we're able to overflow into the work that you do. Yeah. All right. So I wanted to just kick off with some questions. And we've got about 25 minutes, but we just take our time and we'll see how we go. And I firstly wanted to just ask you if you could give a little bit of background about how you founded the Unlimited Child.
Okay, I reflected on that, and I've sent you a little pic. Can we have a look at that?
Tay, can you call up the pic? And there's something powerful about this picture, because when you first sent it to me, it brought tears. It went to my heart and brought tears. So I really am curious and excited to know about this.
So when I was 45 in 1994, I really was at the bottom of the barrel. I was bankrupt for the 5th or 6th time. I'd built these businesses, lost them. My relationships with my family weren't that great. In fact, they weren't great at all. And so it was a really low place for me. And I went on a series of transformation courses. And it's like 5 very intense days, and then followed by another couple of weeks later, another 5 very intense days. And ultimately a program called The Mile, which is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And you go away for a week, and there's no communication at all with the other participants, no smiles, no eye contact, none of that stuff. So it's all about an inward journey. And I was in a really, really bad space. But at the end of that time, you go on that on the mile to try and find your vision. And remember now, at this stage, I don't have 10 cents in the bank. In fact, I'm in debt, and life isn't great. And yet, at the end of that process, I came out with three things. I'm not sure if you can see my mouse. One was that I would start a company based on love, and that company would be making a lot of money. So, I mean, how I believed that this would ever happen, I just don't know, because I was, as I said, really in a bad place. That company would make a lot of money, and it would put money into the environment, which is what that stood for with love. It would put money into education of, and I kind of wrote of something like Waldorf, but not Waldorf, but for young people. I had no clue what that meant, and I really didn't have any affiliation at all to anything education or what that would look like. And then the fourth element would be that I would help with transformation around the world. And here was the crazy thing. My dream for my family was that this is kind of me with my family, would be on this journey with me. And I think maybe because I was in such a bad place with them. And just on that, today, Wallace is now the chairman of our organization of the Unlimited and the Unlimited Child, by the way, which is just wonderful. And both my sons, Zach and Barney, are in the business. And so the family is in this business today. And we've gotten to a point where this business is a really, really big and profitable business. We've got a nature reserve that's now government recognized. So that's what that was all about. So this was easy to get into and understand. The thing with the children just wasn't at all. And about 12 years ago, I think, Kath, we can take that down now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This dream about doing something with children came about in the most extraordinary way. I'd almost forgotten about it. So 94, this all happened. And in like 2008, 2009, as many of us are in South Africa, we were really privileged to have domestic help. And this lady called Nesta, she helped raise our children. But like migrant workers all over the world, she paid a massive price. She left her children in Zululand. And that always just worked on me very badly. And I made a commitment to her that when her grandchildren came along, I would ensure that her grandchildren were educated. So at the end of grade 1 or class 1, I think it's now called, I said to Nesta, I want to see your grandchild, whose name is Tobe. What are Tobe's results? Oh, no, she's passed. Okay, great, fantastic. And at the end of the second year, I said, Nesta, how's Tobe? She said, no, she's passed. But I knew Nesta so well, I just detected that something wasn't right. And I said, listen, I want to see those reports. And when the reports came, I just took a kick in the guts, like you cannot believe, because this little mite had not only failed class 1, she'd been pushed through to class 2, as can only happen in South Africa, by the way, and she'd failed class 2. So that was just, I mean, it was like my world collapsed on that. Anyway, after a little bit of investigating, we found that a similar thing had happened to another child of one of our staff members called Pa. And I didn't know what the law was about that. I just said I didn't care. We took both those children out of school. We got them a full-time remedial teacher who was retired, but she was highly qualified. And these kids, every single day for a year, went to her at 7:30 in the morning. They had breakfast with her. They worked with her, just 2 children and this teacher, until lunchtime. They had lunch, and they then finished for the day. So 2 kids with a highly qualified remedial teacher going back to the basics and redoing class 1. So here's a question for you and anybody who's on this interview. What do you think the results were?
Well, yeah, you would think there would be an improvement, right? There should be. Yeah.
and you'd think that they'd pass.
Yeah.
Both these mites failed. And I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I thought, how do you do that after working with a remedial teacher? And so at the time, our marketing director was a lovely lady called Tembeka. And so I got hold of Tembeka and I said to her, talk to me. I mean, you know, there's got to be something. She said, I have no clue. I don't know what's going on. Why don't you talk to my father? So she introduced me to her father, who was Professor CZ Gebede. And he really needs to be acknowledged in a big way, because he was in Umtata at the time, and he was professor of education and linguistics at Fort Hare. And he came and we were supposed to get together for an hour. And the two of us were together for about 4 hours, something of that nature. And I said to him, Professor, talk to me, what's going on? And he said, it's early childhood education. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know how to spell that. You know, what is early childhood education, or ECD? I don't know what you're talking about. And then he explained to me that the first 5 years of a child's education, if they don't get some form of education, there's no brain activity and the synaptic nerves don't fire off, and there's billions of them that go through this process. And at the end of it, you can do what you like with that child, but essentially it's game over. So if you don't get early childhood development, if a child's potential in life is 3 out of 10, the best education in the world will not get them to more than 4 out of 10. Whereas people like you and I, we're blessed to be 10 out of 10. We have the potential. So that was like, wow, well, what do we do? And just to step back before I give you the solution, Kath, many of our people can't do this, just to take their fingers and just do that, or do that, or do that. In other words, crossing over the left brain and the right brain. And so in talking to Professor Gebede, said to him, well, what's the solution? He said, it's just creches. It's early childhood development. And he was the inspiration, that and this enormous guilt that I carried with these two kids, to start the Unlimited Child. And when I investigated it, all the creches that had been put together were kind of like, this is not to make them wrong, by the way, but they were all based on a model of kind of, people were almost making a living out of it. So you'd have a creche of ABC creche or Little Bunny or whatever, and there'd be 40 or 50 or 60 kids there. And they do a great job, but they take those kids through a process where they have great facilities. They look after them in every kind of a way, but it's a very privileged environment. And I was very aware that to make a difference, I didn't want to impact 45 kids. I wanted to impact millions. And so I devised this process where we would just look at 3 things. One would be to provide the right toys for these kids and a way of playing with those toys. We would train the caregivers, okay, and which are the people who look after these creches. And the third thing would be that we would monitor it, because we realized that if you don't monitor the process, it's not going to work. And in the early days, we had enormous kickback from the established fraternity of early childhood development. And they said, hang on, you know, you can't scale this thing. You're talking about scaling it, and you're talking about duplicating it. And I said, yes, we're going to do that. And we set a goal, which Candace reminded me of the other day, by the way, which I'd completely forgotten about, that by 2021, we'd have impacted 1 million children. And during the course of this year, we will have impacted just over 1 million children. Yeah.
Isn't that,
so that's how it all started.
It's so phenomenal. And did the knowing that you didn't want to just impact 45 children, you wanted to impact 1 million, did that come from going back to that original vision that you created when you were doing the Mall, because we actually bringing a segment after this to our brides, particularly on visioning for their big day. And we have one of my dear friends facilitating that, who's really good on holding space. And I think, you know, we've spoken about this before. We both know how powerful it is where we get to step out of the noise and we get to take space, which you did in your leadership training and journey and with the Mall. And then you landed this incredible vision in that process. And would you say that the knowing, you knew that when you landed it then, or that just came through like the whispers of your heart as it unfolded?
I think it was a combination of many things, Kath. You know, that process of being away for a week and not communicating, you're not allowed to talk, you're not allowed to, no eye contact. So it has to be an inside job. And you really, really go very deep. And you go into your beingness and you go into your own world, and you connect with things that are deeply meaningful to you. And I think, you know, if I had to share with anybody, is you've just got to believe that stuff about the power of our thinking, the power of our ability to shift the planet. I mean, here was I, who was uncouth, down and out person in 1994. I mean, I was in a terrible place. And I walked out of there pumped up, crazily excited. But deep down, I thought, this is impossible. I mean, how can I even build a company based on love? How can I do these things? On reflection, I'm saying to myself, why did you dream so small? You know, why was your vision so small? And it's the power of just having a focus and saying, I can do this, and sticking to it, and not trying to do everything that everybody else is doing. If you just set your mind to that one purpose. And we've had many people try and take us different paths down this story with the unlimited child. Oh, you should be feeding the children. Oh, you should be doing these things. And we said, no, we are very good at these three things. So we facilitated, of course we facilitated and brought in other people to feed the kids. Of course we facilitated healthcare. And all of those things. Yeah, I'm not sure if that answers your question.
Yeah, no, incredible. And just to speak into the impact that not having that early childhood development makes, with my first business in South Africa, I employed ladies, and one of them I employed, she didn't have skills, but I thought I'm going to train her. And it was even a struggle for her to, you know, use the cutting scissors, because I had her cutting and ironing. And that's when it really, the penny dropped for me, that the disadvantage that happens when this part of the educational process that we just take for granted in first world, which a lot of our viewers are, that you know, you just naturally have the toys to play with, you have the stimulating environments, whereas what we're talking about here is none of that, really very little in these environments. So it's just incredible what you guys are doing. So I just, one more question, because we are running out of time, but I feel like we're getting a real sense of everything here with what you guys have created. And I just wanted to ask you, you know, what is it about the Unlimited Child that continues to drive you today? So what?
Kath, wow, wonderful question, wonderful. I think if you've ever been to a creche that we are about to work with, and when we go to a creche, there's maybe 8 or 10 of these little mites there, and you look in their eyes, there's nobody home. There is absolutely, and I'm getting more emotional here, there's nobody at home. You're looking into this vacuum. There's nothing there. And if you've ever seen that and experienced that, and know that here in South Africa, that probably applies to, I don't know, 30, 40, 50% of our children, and that those children will never have a life. That for me was an incredible experience. I mean, I'll never forget it. And it's nothing I like doing, but when you do go down and look at a a new creche, that's what you see. The wonderful thing, though, is that 3 to 4 weeks later, and this is the incredible power that we have to change the world, okay, is that 3 to 4 weeks later, you will not believe that same child when they've gone through the process. It doesn't take months. It doesn't take years. It's 3 to 4 weeks. And they are like a little bunny. You can't control them. They're so excited. They're just in a different place. And what is hammered home to me so hard, and to Wallace and to Candace, is that all this takes is for us to take this thing to the world is a little bit of finance. It's nothing. It is a drop in the ocean versus what people spend in education. Yet if you can get this potential into these kids and get them school ready, the rest is a breeze. It really is a breeze. And so our goal was 5,000 creches by this year. And because of the COVID that set us back, we're at 3,000. We'll definitely get that goal next year. Candace has done a phenomenal job as CEO to do that. And our new goal now is 100,000 creches throughout the world in the next 5 years. And the only thing that will stop us achieving that is finance, nothing else. And we can shift Africa, we can shift the third world. Without any shadow of a doubt, we can do that.
That's incredible, Iain. And I think, you know, some people most people are very generous, that they want to give, they want to help, but sometimes they don't know exactly where the money is going to and where it's landing. And you know, I just want to speak into, like, every cent we've donated over the years, we know goes directly to the toy packs and the teacher training, and that you guys have done a lot of funding around the administrative side as well, so that money is going very far. And as you say, it's, you know, that's what we need to generate more of, understanding of how this disables children for a lifetime if we don't do something about this.
Yeah, the wonderful thing is that the Unlimited, our main mother company, parent funds the Unlimited child. Okay, and that essentially means what you've been talking about, is that the money that we collect goes to the children, 100% of it. Okay, it does not come to salaries for Candace's salary and you know, all of that stuff. It's parent funded. That makes a massive difference. This is about the children. It's just, and that's why it's so scalable.
Incredible. Well, we're here to help you and support you on that mission. We love what you're doing. We love being a part of it. It gives a lot. You know, this is the thing about being able to give, right? It's there's such a receiving in the process of being able to help and support people. And yeah, we just feel blessed to be a part of what you're doing. So thanks, Iain. Now, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my agenda. We're going to go into just some video content that we want to play. And then Iain, would love to have you back in about 10 minutes. And we're going to just take some questions from our audience.
Wonderful.
Okay.
So do I just leave my video on and it'll take care of itself?
Yeah, they're going to do something with us. They're going to
wonderful.
book us out, or I hope. All right, was that actually Mick coming in? I'm just reading the question here. Is that Mick coming in to explain the raffle? Yeah, if Mick, we can bring Michaela in to explain the raffle, and then we'll take questions after that. Guys, the video content is actually in our ad breaks. Taylor's just messaging me, so we've got some gorgeous content of what the Unlimited Child do, of the children in the ad breaks. You can see that. Hi Mick, you're on your side, babe.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm just trying to get it. It should flip with me. Is it?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Am I looking a little bit more straight-headed now? Yeah.
Yes. You are.
Okay.
And Iain, this is Michaela.
Hi, Michaela. What an incredibly inspiring story. I mean, when you were speaking about when you first see the children in the creche, I mean, I know you were welling up and I was welling up, but you've actually experienced that, and it's truly incredible what you guys are doing, and it's such a pleasure to be, you know, working alongside Catherine Deane, and hopefully, you know, continuing to raise money. I know we've done a few things in the past to raise money for Unlimited Child, and I just think it's such an incredible charity to be raising money for. So just I think it's incredible what you're doing, and just keep doing it. It's amazing, and it takes a lot to do it, because I think it's difficult when you're actually there in it and feeling that power to change it. It takes a certain type of person to do it, for sure. And you're definitely doing it.
Thank you.
No, truly incredible. Thanks, guys. And Kath, thanks again for, you know, working with this amazing charity. I mean, well done for finding Iain, because it's just such a good cause. And I really hope that we can continue supporting you. And I'm sure that Catherine will be supporting for many years to come. So I just want to talk a little bit about how you lovely brides can get the opportunity to support Unlimited Child, but also be in a chance for winning some quite big prizes. So there's quite a bit to go through. So first of all you need to do is visit catherinedeane.com or .co.uk. It'll automatically take you back to the UK. It is a UK competition, and you will be able to enter the raffle and support Unlimited Child. And just to run through a few of the things that you will be in for a treat, because we've got a first prize, we've got a second prize, and we've got a third prize. So the first prize is £1,200. That's £1,200 from Catherine Deane, a voucher for Catherine Deane. So I'm sure from seeing the catwalk, there are many pieces that you could get your hands on with that voucher. And first prize also includes £500 voucher from Harriet Wilde. Harriet Wilde was the shoe designer that I was talking to you about when I was doing the little walk, which, by the way, I've received a couple of videos, and I'm so glad that you guys were joining in, because I've never done that before, doing a catwalk instruction and seeing whether or not anybody's joining in. So well done, you guys were doing great. But Harriet Wilde, who I highly recommend for bridal shoes, she will be giving £500 voucher to purchase shoes for your wedding day from her. And another one, bearing in mind we're still in the first prize here, not done yet, £280 voucher from Halo & Co. Halo & Co were the gorgeous crowns that you saw the girls wearing in the catwalk, and I'll be doing a whole styling piece tomorrow with another model, and you'll be seeing more of their pieces in detail. They are absolutely stunning. They really are unique pieces, so that is another incredible prize to be won. And I'm not done yet. A 6-week Feng Shui fundamentals course from the Feng Shui Collective. These are the ladies that I was telling you about at the beginning of the day that will be joining us on Sunday, and they will be closing the day for us, and they'll be talking about how to bring Feng Shui into your day, into your life, and they're amazing. And of course, you'll have this 6-week fundamentals course with them if you were to win first prize. And not quite done, one more, a 1-hour Zoom coaching session from My Fairy Godmother. So anyone that has been planning their wedding and wishing, I just wish I had a fairy godmother who could just sort this all out for me and just tell me what to do and be done. She's real, she's the fairy godmother, and you will have a 1-hour Zoom coaching session with her. So just to go through that again, first prize, I know that's a lot to take in, because it's a very, very generous prize to win. That's a £1,200 voucher from Catherine Deane, a £500 voucher from Harriet Wilde, a £280 voucher from Halo & Co, a 6-week Feng Shui fundamentals course from the Feng Shui Collective, and a 1-hour Zoom coaching session from My Fairy Godmother. And there's one more special treat in there for you as well. And you can have a personal bridesmaids consultation and get your own personalized mood board with links directly to the appropriate bridesmaids dresses for your pals and your girl crew. And they can just go straight to the link, get all of the colors sorted, and we'll be giving that away too within first prize. But there is a second prize. And the second prize is a Monique top from Catherine Deane worth £625. That is the gorgeous beaded Monique top, which I'll be showing you in the styling session tomorrow. And also we had it in the catwalk today. And we will have a 1-hour Zoom coaching session from Jenny Kovacs, and she will be coaching you through the Zoom session for your wedding day. And you will also receive Dinny Hall earrings. I'm not sure if you've seen Dinny Hall before, but they are an absolutely beautiful jewelers. Their jewelry is so delicate, such high quality. You'll be getting a beautiful pair of earrings from them. That is second prize. So a Monique top from Catherine Deane, worth $625, a 1-hour Zoom coaching session from Jenny Kovacs, and a pair of Dinny Hall earrings. And there's also a chance of winning a third prize, and that is a Itala top from Catherine Deane, worth $250, a 1-hour Zoom session with Lola's, sorry, you're going to have to forgive my pronunciation here, with Lola's to help guide you and your partner with your wedding day shoot. So Lola is an incredible photographer who you'll be meeting later on in the weekend. And her surname, Lola, you're going to have to forgive me because every time I try to say it, I do hiccup a little bit. But tell me if I get this right. Kath, you might be able to help me here. Hochzeitsfotografie. Is that a correct pronunciation? I don't know if I've done that correctly. But Lola, you will have, is that right?
It's good. All good.
All good. Okay. And yes, so she will guide you through the photography for your day, and all of the proceeds will be going to Unlimited Child. So all of those prizes will all be going to this incredible charity that you've just heard so much about. So I mean, the prizes are grand, and there's 3 chances to win, and each level there are so many things to be won. So I think it's a really, really exciting competition and such a good cause. So please do visit catherinedeane.com. It will automatically take you to .co.uk if you're in the UK, but it is a UK competition. So head on straight to the website and please do purchase a raffle ticket. It's in such an incredible cause, and as you've just heard, how much it truly changes children's lives. And I think Kath, actually really pointed something out which is very poignant, which is how we take our education from the very beginning, you know, early education, even just from, you know, our parents and, you know, our surroundings. We take it for granted. And it's hard, I think, when you visualize with children that are in need of education and don't have it, it boggles a lot of people's minds, and it's too much to even process. And then you start asking other questions, and it's like Iain was saying, when you were saying about, you know, other people saying you should do this and you should do this and you should do this. This is what makes these charities so incredible, because they are the ones that are focusing. You can't do everything. You've got to focus on what you're good at, and that's how you create change. And that's what Unlimited Child are doing. And I just think, whilst every day we want to do as much as we can to help as many people as we can, it's amazing when you can just be directed to someone who is doing it so right and creating so much change. And, you know, this is children, it's creating change in the world, it's the next generation, and this is what's truly going to make the difference. So please do go on to catherinedeane.com, buy yourself a raffle ticket, get your friends a raffle ticket, and they will be in for such a huge treat. Don't know if I could run through that again, but I'm just going to run through first prize again. £1,200.
Can I just say before you carry on, I'm getting some questions coming through. I'm from Ireland, can I enter? I know there were some South Africans who wanted to enter. We've decided that what we're going to do, if it's a bride outside of the UK, we will gather their gifts for them, their choices, and we will ensure that it gets to them wherever they are in the world. So we would like to do that, this up to all brides. So just to make a note of that.
Oh, amazing. Well, there you go. So wherever you are in the world, enter into the raffle. Fabulous. Yes, Laura. So you can enter and be in a chance to win £1,200 from Catherine Deane, £500 from Harriet Wilde, £280 from Halo & Co, Feng, Shui and My Fairy Godmother. That's first prize, and there are plenty more for second and third prize. So I think that you will agree there is plenty to be won, and I know that it's a cause worth giving to, as you've just heard, and it was truly inspiring. Thank you so much, Iain, and thank you, Kath, for bringing Iain into our lives. Truly grateful.
Amazing.
Thanks, Michaela.
Cool. We've got a little bit more time, and I feel like I've kind of messed with the order of things here a bit, but we're going to take some more questions here now, because we've got about 15 minutes left. So there is a
Kath, if you want to answer some questions, and then I'm more than happy to. I think it would be a nice idea to talk everyone through what we've achieved today and what to expect tomorrow. So I will leave you guys to do the Q&A, and then I will jump in and fill everyone in on the day and what we've yet to come.
Amazing, Mick. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Great. So that's exciting, right, Iain? We've had so many people supporting the raffle prizes. There's been so much generosity. So many people have just, donated, whether it's shoes or jewelry or their time. And it just goes to show, when we create a platform for this kind of work, and especially, for a lot of creatives coming together, where there's such a value attached to what we're doing, but we're able to, just generate a lot from the value we create with our art. So I just feel so grateful to all the people that have come together to actually contribute towards the prizes. And we had such an overwhelming response that we actually ended up making 3 prizes, which is just phenomenal.
Wonderful, Kath. And one of the things which I didn't mention to you, which I just love about this whole program, is that we did a little exercise, or Candace did, to work out what it costs us to change a child's life. And effectively, it's £1.50 a month. And if you just stop and think about that, I don't know what a beer costs in the UK these days. I'm kind of out of touch, but I think it's more than that. Okay. Yeah. And so for less than the cost of a beer, you can actually change a person's life, literally from somebody who cannot read and write to somebody who could become a rocket scientist. So, yeah, I don't know how to thank you, really. It's just fabulous.
It's such a pleasure. It's such a pleasure. I've got a question here from Jenny. Are there any items that specifically help the children in their early development that we can also provide?
Kath, all items help the kids. So I think that's need to explain that, because in everybody's home, the toys are kind of different. What we've done here, though, is we've put together a group of toys that actually address all the needs of the children, from puzzles to things that they can play with their hands to get their motor skills going. So there are specific toys that we utilize. So whilst we can use any toys, to start changing the model, we've got a box that all the toys fit into. It's a big box. In fact, it's a big trunk. Okay. So we can't now start putting other things into that, because a lot of these things get taken out to rural areas and areas that are disadvantaged. So as much as we'd love to take those toys, we're going to reluctantly decline, okay, very reluctantly, and just say, please, could you just, if you gave us the money, we will make that money work harder than just about any money for any cause on this planet. That's the one thing that we have done so well. We've just managed to open up that Pandora's box. We just make your money work harder than just about anybody else can make it work. So it does come back to the cash, and we'll turn that into the magic.
Amazing.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, so over and above entering the raffle, which is £10 a ticket, how else do people get to help? Can they go directly to Unlimited Child website and make donations there?
Yes, they can. If they just go to the unlimitedchild.org, okay, I mean, it's very simple, and they can absolutely make a donation there. And one of the great ways of doing that, by the way, is if you just put it on a debit order and just say, I'm going to give up 1 beer this month, and I'll put a debit order through of £1.50, and you've got a mite somewhere here in South Africa who's going to be grateful to you for the rest of your life. You'll change that child's life. And it's not 1% or 2%. It is, you are literally taking them from being somebody who's almost forced to being a laborer because they'll never take their potential. And you used a very good example with the scissors and the ironing, to a doctor or a teacher or a nurse, or you just give them potential in life that you just can't imagine. And that's, I think, what is so powerful about the program.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you're changing a life in terms of the education, but what is the ripple effect? You know, that's the thing to consider, is how that impacts outwards as well to the greater community, how they get to be you know, better educated, then better parents to the next generation of children. You know, what is the impact? It's hard to quantify, really.
It is impossible to quantify. You're going from a society that is in decline with no hope, okay, into a society that can shift itself to anything, literally anything, because you've got a child now who has the potential. And here's the crazy thing. If that child gets to age 5 or 6 and is now school ready, and for some other reason they don't go to school for 5 years, it doesn't matter in one respect. They've got the potential. They'll learn to read and write very easily. It's not difficult for them. And there's some wonderful work done at the United Nations 15, 20 years ago, which shows that in education, the world, by the way, not just us here in South Africa, the world puts a tiny bit of money into class 1 to 5, 6, quite a lot of money into senior school, and the bulk of the funds goes to tertiary education. It's the complete wrong way around. It should be the bulk of the money should go into early childhood development. Because once they've got the potential, you can do anything. I mean, that's the irony of this whole thing. So, yeah. And a bigger irony is that it doesn't take anything like the cost of running a tertiary education for us to shift not only South Africa, but Africa and the planet.
Incredible. Are you connecting with other leaders in the space in different continents to take this out into a global capacity?
We're right in the middle of that right now, and we're taking our first baby steps there. COVID has set us back a little bit. That's created some real problems. And I must just, by the way, acknowledge Candace here. During COVID, she raised in pounds about £1.5 million, and used that for food vouchers for the kids and their families, and also for protective equipment during that time, and the training of the caregivers about social distancing and stuff like that. So back to your question, COVID has set us back a little bit, and we're now taking our first baby steps with people in Lesotho, with people in Mozambique, and we were approached by some people in Angola. Once we have got the model right, it is so easy to duplicate. And once we've settled down this year and overcome the COVID bump, then we are, as I said a little earlier, our goal is 100,000 creches throughout essentially the third world, and Africa is a big part of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're definitely moving out.
Incredible, Iain. Yeah, just to finish off, the last question is, you know, what are the top 3 things that you find most rewarding about the Unlimited Child?
That kind of goes back to when I got a bit emotional about to see that kid's eyes change in those 3 weeks, because then you know it's working, Kath. It's like, it's real. This is not sending a check to somebody down the road so they can have a meal and eat a bit better today. And whilst that's very important, and I don't want to minimize that for a nanosecond, the shift in that child is the most rewarding thing. And I think the second thing really is that we have the power to change our country. That just works for me all the time. And it's a fundamental change. And I think that's what drives Wallace and what drives Candace. And I keep mentioning them because they chair and CEO and are the magic behind a lot of this. That's what drives us, that you can change a community, you can change a city, you can change a province, you can change a country by educating them. It's all about the education, and it speaks to everything. It speaks to gender-based violence. It speaks to educating women on childbearing. It speaks to nutrition. It speaks to everything. If you're educated, the world's your oyster.
I think Nelson Mandela recognized that, didn't he, about this country? He said education is the most important thing that you can give to a person or a child.
Absolutely. And early childhood development, and there was some independent research done, by the way, by one of our big banks here in South Africa about which of the early childhood development systems could do that the most effectively, okay? And 5 programs were chosen, and the Unlimited Child was the only program that got all its children school ready. So this is not just some theoretical thing that we love doing. It works, and it's scalable and it's duplicatable, and that's why we can take it to the world in a big way, a really big way.
That's incredible, Iain, and it's testament to you having that vision, going niche into the vision, not trying to be everything for everyone, and then putting the mechanism in place to fuel it. So it's really incredible.
Yep, but Kath, it's people like you, okay, that fund it. Okay? If we didn't have that, we couldn't take it to the next level. And that's why this funding is just so critically important.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Well, it's our pleasure, and thank you so much for joining us today. I feel like you have absolutely inspired and touched the hearts and minds of our brides, and we are going to be broadcasting this particular interview out even beyond this event, to get more understanding of the work that you're doing. And thank you so much for your time today. It's been wonderful to have you share with us.
Thanks, Kath, and thank you again for your wonderful generosity, and perhaps more for your participation in the process. It speaks volumes for you and your brand. Thank you.
It's our pleasure.
Take care, and lots of love to everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Catherine Deane, international clothing designer who dresses A-list celebrities such as Beyonce, Fergie and Pippa Middleton, is an ambassador for the Unlimited Child. With offices in Hong Kong and London, Catherine has strong ties to South Africa and is passionate about changing the lives of children through early childhood development. Whilst in in South Africa, Catherine was eager to experience the work done in the creches by the Unlimited Child. As part of her awareness campaign, she modelled some of her exquisite evening wear.
The Unlimited Child works with pre-existing creches. We go in, we train the caregivers to use the toys that we then provide them with through 5 days of experiential training, and then we support them on a monthly basis after that with one of our staff going in and making sure that they're doing okay and helping and enabling them wherever they can. The work that we do is absolutely critical. What we want to do is ensure that all children enter school with the ability to maximise their potential, and so we go into the creches, we work with the caregivers so that they can use the toys that we later give them, their educational toys, and they can use those to develop the potential of those children so that when they get to school they've got the cognitive skills and the motor skills that they need to be successful.
So it's been an incredible day and really a big eye-opener. Amazing to see the effect and the impact that the work of the Unlimited Child is making on these children's lives. I think it's one of the best feelings you can have to know that you can help children on this level.
So for just 40 Rand a month you can dramatically change a child's life. It costs 480 Rand in total to change that child's life forever. And if you want to get involved in any way at all, please just get in contact with us on our website, www.theunlimitedchild.co.za, and you can help us help them.
Hello and welcome back, guys. So what an incredible interview was that. It's just so, I mean, this is something I've never had the opportunity to see before, because we've done fundraising before for Unlimited Child, and obviously I know so much about them, but it's just so incredible to actually have Iain here and being interviewed by Catherine. It's just amazing. So thank you guys so much for making that happen. That was incredible. So obviously I've spoken you through the raffle prizes, which are incredible, and obviously it's even more so incredible the charity that you can give to. So just to explain to you, I know that we have put the link in the chat section so you can easily click and donate, but if you're on the home page, it does say £1,200 Catherine Deane voucher, and it says the raffle ticket, which is £10. Only £10 to be in with a chance of winning a lot of things, and 3 chances as well. So I thought I would just run through what we have done today. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And I also have to make a little confession. I've changed into trainers, so it's good to give those feet a rest after you've done all that catwalking. But yeah, so it's been a really wonderful day, and I'd just like to say thank you to everyone that's been on so far. We're going to take a quick half-an-hour break, and then we're going to be joined by Cat Diva. So just to run through what we've been through today, obviously we've seen the gorgeous new collection from Catherine Deane, as well as some of the favourites and some of the Daydream Muse collection. And then we have obviously learnt how to catwalk. And at the beginning of the day, we learnt all about Catherine Deane herself with Jenny Kovacs. And then now we're going into Cat Diva. So she is the most inspirational human, as I was explaining earlier. She is going to be really recentering you. And she's an incredible coach, all about empowering women. I know you're going to absolutely love her. So that's what we've got coming up next after a quick break. But just to prepare you for what we'll be doing tomorrow, we have Soulmates music coming in, and they will be playing us some incredible music. And I will be introducing them in the morning to you, followed by Bride Book. This is the organizational hour where you need to get your notepad and get all of your notes, because Bride Book are going to make life so easy for you. You're going to be a wedding planner yourself by the end of it. And then we will have Avec Moi for styling, yours truly, and we'll be joined by the gorgeous Dominique, and she'll be showing you how, well, I will be showing you on Dominique, and she will be modeling how to accessorize with the Catherine Deane items. So really looking forward to seeing you with that. And then of course, oh, I won't go into Sunday yet, but we will be closing with having a virtual appointment with a real life bride. So you can see exactly how it works, feel more comfortable when you're getting ready to do your own appointment, and you can understand the questions you'll be expected to answer, and you'll see how it all works. So there's lots to look forward to tomorrow. But for now, I'm going to go into a half an hour break, and you'll be meeting the wonderful Cat Diva. So we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.